This is the tier list of all classes in 99 Nights in the Forest. I played every class in the game, and today, I'll tell you everything you need to know. I'll start with the cheapest, and step by step, move to the most expensive. You'll learn their starting items and abilities. You'll understand how to upgrade each class, and what those upgrades actually give you. And of course, I'll place every class in the tier list, so you know what's really worth spending your precious diamonds on, and what's better to avoid. And with some classes, we'll even run extra experiments. What exactly? You'll find out soon. The first class is the Camper, and it costs 10 diamonds. This class starts with a small flashlight, and hunger drains 10% slower. To upgrade this class, you need to cook food on the campfire and burn wood. At level 2, you see better in the dark. At level 3, you start with a can of stew. It's great for beginners because of its low price, and it lands in the A tier of strong classes. Next is the Scavenger, and it costs 25 diamonds. At the start of the game, you get 2 extra inventory slots. To upgrade this class, you need to collect iron and just run around the map. At level 2, you open chests faster. At level 3, there's a small chance to get extra iron from chests. It's a good starter class for new players, but slightly weaker than the Camper in abilities. B tier. Next up, the Base Defender for 40 diamonds. It starts with 2 defensive blueprints right away. Upgrading it is really hard. You need to place a lot of defenses and try to kill enemies using them. At level 2, you can place improved defenses. At level 3, their damage increases. It's good for defending the base, but how do you beat the game if you only defend? It's a support class, useful only for team players. E tier, useless classes. Next up, the Team Player, the Cook, for 40 diamonds.
Yeah, boy.
He always carries salt, which you can add to your meals, making them more filling. To upgrade him, you need to cook meat over the campfire and make stew. At level 2, the Cauldron cooks food 20% faster. At level 3, you get a chance to cook a hearty stew that heals you. Perfect for playing with friends, and thanks to the low price, great for beginners. B tier of solid classes. Another team class, the Medic, for 40 diamonds. He starts with 2 bandages and revives teammates 5 times faster. To upgrade him, you need to find bandages or medkits and revive your teammates. At level 2, after a revive, your teammate gets more health. At level 3, one of your bandages is replaced with a medkit. This class works only in teams and mostly for beginners. Worse than the Cook. C tier. Another 40 diamond class, the Hunter. He starts with 2 traps. Sounds small, but if you know how to use them, you can save the kids. There's also a higher chance to get more meat from animals. To upgrade him, you need to defeat wolves and rabbits. At level 2, the drop chance for pelts increases. At level 3, a wolf pelt gives you 4 reward options to choose from. And this is the first class we're putting through our super test. How fast can we free Dino Kid? In this rescue, we'll use our traps and see how fast we can take down all these wolves. Timer starts now. Hey, wait! Okay, this is not that easy, by the way. Man, if you only use traps, this is actually really hard. Alright, let's just try to chop them down with the old axe. And in this amount of time, we managed to wipe out all the wolves and save Dino Kid. C tier. This is the first class that can't play solo. The Support for 45 diamonds. He starts with a bandage and a new support mechanic. When you link to a teammate, you split their damage, and they deal more damage. To upgrade this class, you just need to support your teammates.
Son of a bitch.
At level 2, you restore hunger for both of you. At level 3, the link beam becomes visible. Only useful for supporting friends, and mostly for fun runs. D tier, kinda meh. I thought the next class would be OP, but it's the Fisherman for 50 diamonds. He starts with a fishing rod and levels it up faster. But to upgrade this class, even at level 1, you need to catch 5 sharks. And that's insanely hard. At level 2, you can cast your rod a bit farther. At level 3, fish bite faster. This class is only good for YouTubers, for 1 video. Fishing is super inefficient. F tier, total failure. Next up, the Brute for 50 diamonds. He starts with a heavy shield that can scare enemies away. I thought this class would be a real tank, but honestly, it doesn't perform that well. To upgrade him, you need to scare animals and take damage. At level 2, you take slightly less damage after a taunt. At level 3, your shield becomes stronger, and you can dash. I'm not even sure how to trigger it, but anyway, it's slightly better than total trash. E tier. bad. This is the most addictive class, the Gambler, for 55 diamonds. He starts with a random item, which is awesome. Too bad you can't abuse it. The game makes you survive 5 days. But here's the main feature. When you open chests, you can upgrade or downgrade the loot. It's insane when you open a gold chest and get ruby tier loot. To level them up, you just need to open chests. At level 2, you get a 60% chance to upgrade a chest. At level 3, you have a 10% chance to get coins. I think he's great for long runs, but only for experienced players. A tier, excellent class. Next up, the Lumberjack for 70 diamonds. Perfect for building. He starts with an upgraded axe and a 20% chance to get an extra log. To upgrade him, you need to chop trees and plant saplings. At level 2, there's a 25% chance to get an extra sapling. At level 3, you get another 20% chance to receive 1 or 2 bonus logs. Perfect for base building and great for any player. Let's run the Dino Kid test again.
Alright, I'm using my upgraded axe and the spin around the wolves tactic.
Let's see how fast I can take them down. Honestly, that was easier than I expected. And we did it in just 10 seconds. A tier, no doubt.
Now Ranger, my first 70 diamond class.
He has everything. A flashlight, a revolver, and ammo. You can start saving kids right away. That's exactly how you level them up. Save kids and kill creatures. At level 2, there's a 10% chance not to spend a bullet. At level 3, you start with 30 bullets. It's a universal class, good for beginners. But I'd save a bit more and buy the alien. Let's run the test. I sped up the footage so you can quickly see how fast we rescue Dino Kid. B tier, solid class. Next, the Zookeeper for 70 diamonds. He has a flute. Yeah. He can tame up to 3 animals from the start, and the flute levels up faster. To upgrade him, you just tame animals. At level 2, you heal animals better. At level 3, taming requires 1 less step. But this is the most useless class. Animal strategy is terrible. I don't recommend buying this trash. F tier, complete garbage. Next up, the Explorer for 80 diamonds. He gets the Scavenger's bigger bag, plus a compass and a map at the start. He also has a large map radius and gains bonus speed while revealing the fog. To level him up, you need to explore the map and open chests. At level 2, your hunger drains slower outside the campfire. At level 3, you can see chests through walls and open them faster. Great for fast map exploration, but it's more for specific players. The abilities aren't that strong. For 80 diamonds, B tier. Farmer for 80 diamonds is slightly better. He has a new watering can that gives a chance to grow rarer crops than carrots. To level him up, you need to water and harvest crops. At level 2, you can plant trees, and they turn into apple trees that give fruit. At level 3, you're guaranteed to get 1 pumpkin per garden bed. Good for team play and farming resources, but I wouldn't recommend it for beginners. C tier, decent.
And here comes the first 100 diamond class, the Berserker.
You'd expect a sword, but he starts with just a medkit and a one-time self-revive mechanic. To level him up, you need to defeat enemies while below 40% health. Yeah, not great. At level 2, after death, you get a small strength boost. At level 3, the lower your health, the higher your damage. This class only works when you're dying. It's super hard to level up. I'd only recommend it if you already bought every other class. Let's test him in combat.
Spinning the wolves.
And first death. Quick, use the medkit. And second death. Couldn't win. E tier. Almost impossible to level. Also for 100 gems, the new class, the Grenadier. He starts with dynamite and 10 grenades. He can also get grenades from cultists and chests. To level him up, you need to blow up enemies with grenades or explosive ammo. At level 2, a grenade explodes after your death. At level 3, grenades can drop together with ammo packs. A solid class for experienced players. But let's test him in action.
And it only takes 2 grenades to kill all the wolves. And grab the key.
I'll give him B tier.
Now the Snowman, for 100 diamonds, looks way more solid. He starts with a snow cannon and a winter hat that protects you from the cold. Leveling him up is easy. Just shoot the cannon. At level 2, after 6 snowballs, the target gets slowed. At level 3, your cannon gets buffed and shoots faster. He feels very similar to the alien. Perfect for the winter biome because of the hat. Great first 100 diamond class for beginners, thanks to the unlimited cannon. But let's run the test. And here I sped up the footage again, because the cannon deals low damage, but you stay safe. I recommend him to everyone. A tier. And here comes the alien for 100 gems. He starts with an OP ray gun and can see well in the dark, but becomes slower when energy runs out. Leveling him up is simple. Just kill enemies with the alien blaster. At level 2, energy recharges faster. At level 3, you run faster when your energy is full. Perfect for normal runs, especially for beginners. Highly recommended. Let's test him by rescuing Dino Kid. I sped up the footage here as well because the ray gun deals low damage, and for some reason it actually cleared slower than the snowman's weapon. Definitely S tier, the best 100 diamond class. Next class, the Brawler for 100 diamonds. He starts with leather armor because he cannot use ranged weapons, but he gets plus 40% max health and plus 30% melee damage. You level him up by dealing and taking melee damage. At level 2, you gain plus 10% health regen and boosted regen after getting hit. At level 3, there's a 5% chance to dodge an attack. Awesome class for challenges. Perfect for PC players who love spinning around enemies like this. Definitely not for beginners. Let's clear the wolves together. Almost top tier, but A tier because you can't use firearms. Now the Undead class for 100 diamonds. Perfect for random players. He starts with a bandage and a new mechanic, bonuses from death. The more you die, the more bonuses you get. Perfect. And yes, to level him up, you need to die. Perfect. At level 2, you revive instantly. At level 3, after death, you can move for 8 seconds to escape enemies. Only works in team games. Otherwise, who's going to revive you? Great for randoms who love dying. B tier. Just fun. Now the new 150 diamond class, the Feaster. Yeah, he carries 5 bowls of soup just to eat. But when he's overfed, he deals more damage and runs faster. And for every unique food, he gains plus 2 hit points. To level him up, you need to eat soup and stay overfed. At level 2, soup start restoring hit points. At level 3, you gain extra armor from overeating. Don't recommend this class to your noob friends, or all the food at the campfire will just disappear. And this time, with only an axe, I failed and died. C tier, decent. But the head chef for 150 diamonds cooks more than he eats. He has his own cauldron and a recipe book that lets him cook powerful dishes with bonuses. And all other food gives more hunger restoration. To level him up, you need to cook at the campfire and in the cauldron. At level 2 and 3, you unlock 1 new recipe each. Perfect for long runs with friends, for absolutely any player, because he can cook insanely strong meals. A tier, great class. Another new class, Nightcrawler for 200 diamonds. He starts with a cool blade. At level 1, at night, he's super fast, sees perfectly in the dark, and deals bonus damage. To level him up, you just need to defeat your enemies. At level 2, you're harder to see at night. At level 3, a deer appears in the distance. A lot of players like this class for speedruns, but I definitely don't recommend it for beginners. Let's test him in action. It's very easy to play him at night because the speed lets you quickly move behind enemies. B tier, decent. And the Fire Bandit for 200 diamonds is already better. He has an overpowered crossbow and a wildfire that burns your enemies and cooks the meat. To level up the class, you need to kill and burn your enemies with the crossbow or potions. At level 2, any weapon can set enemies on fire. At level 3, there's an extra 10% chance to get a lava potion from a chest. A super cool class for easy hardcore runs. With him, you won't have problems with hunger. Feels like an upgraded alien. I recommend it to any player. In the test, I decided to use my wildfire to quickly wipe out the wolves, grab the key, and free the kid. S tier. And the blacksmith for 200 diamonds. Super controversial. He starts with a hammer like the decorator, and he can craft items from a workbench level you haven't unlocked. To level him up, you need to upgrade the workbench and place buildings you crafted yourself. Kinda mid. At level 2, you get a discount on 2 random workbench buildings. At level 3, you get extra iron from items placed in the grinder. I'd say it's good for speedruns, but this trash class doesn't even unlock the final workbench stage. I don't recommend it to anyone. Total garbage, F tier. Another 200 diamond class, the Poison Master. He has a blowpipe with darts that reloads very slowly and deals low damage. He also wears poisonous armor, like leather but with poison.
At level 1, poison effects become stronger. To level him up, you need to kill enemies with poison. At level 2, your poison can spread to other enemies. At level 3, attacks against poisoned enemies deal more damage. Overall, the class is decent, but there are stronger ones. Good for beginners and mid-level players. Let's see how fast our Poison Master can do it. Remember, the blowpipe reloads slow, and it took us 40 seconds. C tier.
Remember when we talked about the zookeeper and said he was useless?
Well, the Beastmaster for 400 diamonds is his upgraded version. He starts with an improved flute and 3 stakes. With them, at the start of the game, you can summon a wolf and have up to 5 pets. Tame animals and let them deal damage to level them up. At level 2, wolves attack and run faster. At level 3, your first summoned wolf becomes an alpha. But since the wolf strategy is still too weak, I can't really recommend this class. It would be amazing if the mechanic was made better. Let's see how fast he handles the wolves. I have to hit each wolf one by one, because you need to either deal damage or take it, or your wolves won't start attacking. And we did it in 25 seconds, putting him in C tier. And here comes the king of speedruns, the assassin class for 500 diamonds. He starts with a new katana and a pack of kunai that help you clear the game fast. He also has plus 10% speed and a 5% chance to get kunai from chests. But you lose 15% health. To level him up, you need to kill enemies without taking damage, and run sometimes. At level 2, you get a chance to deal critical damage. At level 3, plus 10% chance to find kunai in chests. That's OP. A super cool class for speedruns, one of the best. But because of the reduced HP, it's definitely not for beginners. And we might break the time record right now with the Assassin's Katana, finishing the challenge in 7 seconds. 100% broken. S tier.
In the first 600 diamond class, the Gunslinger.
A new class with an old mechanic. He starts with a revolver and 60 bullets. To upgrade the revolver, you complete tasks from the little book and improve your cool revolver. For rabbits, you get bullet speed. For wolves, bigger magazine size. For cultists, bonus damage. For alpha wolves, reload speed. For bears, fire rate. For mammoths, a chance for an explosive bullet. To level up the class itself, you just need to kill enemies with the new revolver. At level 2, you get a chance for extra ammo from chests. At level 3, your pistol starts slightly upgraded. Good for a fun playthrough, but it really shines in the late game. Worth buying as your 3rd or 4th class after the cyborg and the vampire. You can even compare it to the ranger. They both use a revolver. A tier. And his very similar counterpart, the Big Game Hunter for 600 diamonds. He starts with a rifle and 12 bullets, plus the same task book that upgrades your character. Here, you don't just kill, you consume animal pelts. For rabbits, plus 15% speed. For wolves, plus 5% damage. For scorpions, 15% chance to poison. For snow foxes, extra warmth. For alpha wolves, 10% chance not to spend a bullet. For bears, bonus health. For the Cultist King or Polar Bears, plus 10% damage. To level up the class itself, you need to consume pelts. A lot of pelts. At level 2, pelts drop more often. At level 3, you can eat tusks. And that's really strong, because for every tusk, you gain bonus health. And you can eat tusks infinitely. Perfect for super long runs. By the end, you'll have a ton of health, but not the best choice for beginners. And of course, every shot one-shots a wolf. 5 shots, 13 seconds. S tier for long games. This is the most recognizable class, the Cyborg for 600 diamonds. The most universal class with a powerful laser cannon and armor that makes your game much easier. At level 1, he sees perfectly in the dark. But if you overheat the alien energy, you take damage. To level him up, you need to shoot multiple targets at once and kill enemies. At level 2, you get increased alien weapon damage. At level 3, kills restore part of your energy. Perfect for any type of run. But his main feature is the lock, which he farms faster than any other class. Great for any player, because this is the best class in the game. And in the test, I killed the wolves in 4 seconds. Oh my god! Flawless class, S tier. This is the most bugged class, the Necromancer for 600 diamonds, but almost no one uses him. He has a magic staff that lets him resurrect dead cultists, but you can't heal them. To level him up, you must resurrect cultists, and they have to deal damage. At level 2, they deal more damage. At level 3, you gain night vision. The class had major issues, like the crossbow cultists not attacking or zombies flying, and those bugs weren't fixed for a long time, so he was almost useless. useless, like the Beastmaster. But unlike him, the Necromancer can only resurrect cultists, and you still can't heal them. This class is just for fun, for players who truly want to use it. E tier for that price. Next class, the Super Pyromaniac for 600 diamonds. He has a massive flamethrower that deals huge damage and cooks food, but you can only refill it with fuel cans and fuel barrels. And the range is so short that wolves will tear you apart. To level him up, you need to burn and kill enemies. At level 2, fuel cans and barrels give more fuel. At level 3, you move faster for every burning enemy. Honestly, I wouldn't even buy him. Total trash class that's completely useless. Just walk past it. I went full flamethrower mode here and still finished in 10 seconds. F tier. Absolute garbage. And the silver spot on our podium, the Vampire for 600 diamonds. Silver, because I think he's slightly worse than the Cyborg. He has vampire armor that heals him at night. By the way, the scythe wasn't in the game before. We begged the dev and he added it. At level 1, he has lifesteal with any melee weapon, plus increased speed at night. To level him up, you just keep hitting everything. Simple as that. At level 2, you get the best night vision. At level 3, your lifesteal becomes even stronger. Amazing class for speedruns or hardcore mode. Super mobile and comfortable. Definitely not for beginners or mobile players. You'll need to spin around enemies like this to dominate. And in the test, the Vampire cleared it in 10 seconds. S tier, second place. There were also event classes in the game, and some of them are still with us. But now I want to talk about the classes that were removed, like the Trick or Treat class, which helped farm candy during Halloween, and was removed because it couldn't do anything else. And Santa's Helper did the same thing, farmed candy but for New Year. But from those events, we kept some event classes, the Witch, the Elf, and the Engineer. The Witch was obtainable for 900 candies during Halloween. She has an explosive potion. Actually, it has 3 effects: burn, explosion, or poison. You throw it at enemies to deal damage and level up the class. At level 2, you can throw it at yourself and heal, or at teammates. At level 3, the potion becomes stronger and applies a permanent poison effect from every bottle. A super cool class, basically a budget cyborg. You can easily farm the lock with her, and even if you miss, you still deal damage, just less than the Cyborg. Great for any player, but you can't buy her anymore. Let's test the Witch. Throw the first potion. Throw the second potion. 14 seconds on the timer. S tier, no doubt. The Elf class was also 900 candies during New Year. As you guessed, he gives gifts. He doesn't start with one, but it appears after 3 minutes. From them, you can get good loot like heals, fuel, or ammo. To level him up, you need to not be greedy and give gifts to friends. Then you start with a gift immediately, and after 20 minutes, your team gets a golden gift for everyone. And yes, it can drop the Cyborg's gun. The class is decent, but mainly for playing with friends. Nice for the heals, but only B tier. And the main New Year's scammer is Deco. Oh wait, wrong one. The Engineer for 1,000 diamonds. The only 6-star class that's trash? Let's break it down. He starts with a turret. You can also craft turrets at the workbench. They don't cost iron, but you still have to bring iron. You can place them anywhere. By the way, on day 1 of the update, you couldn't. The admin was feeling generous later. But these turrets are so bad, they don't even rotate 360 degrees. Their damage and range are just sad. To level them up, you need to place turrets, and they have to kill enemies, which is very hard. At level 2, turrets get 15 extra bullets. You can reload them, by the way. You have to put ammo packs inside. You'll also find bonus iron in chests, kind of like the scavenger skill. At level 3, turrets shoot faster and burn through ammo faster too. And you can get scrap from cultists. Super amazing class. Especially amazing that you can't even buy it anymore. For that price, nobody would take it. It should cost 100 diamonds max, or be traded for the decorator. But let's run the test. This time I'm using our turrets, and they kill the wolves in 14 seconds. F tier, right here. Watch carefully, and remember which classes you should buy first, and write down your own top classes.